Have you heard about the fake influencer who took Japan by storm? Did you know that there are fish that can drive their own vehicle? Did you know you can now buy a laptop without a screen? All this and much more today on Colin the Curious. Are you a fan or follower of an influencer or content creator on social media? How do you know if that person is really who they appear? A famous Japanese influencer named Azusa Gakuyuki, known for touring Japan on motorcycles, surprised her followers and the world when it was revealed on Monday Late Show, a Japanese program, that the influencer wasn't actually a woman, but a man over 50 years old. The influencer used face editing apps that made her look like a young lady. The man, actually named Zongu, when cornered by all the reporters, took off his helmet and explained that he used different apps to appear young and beautiful, since according to him, no one would want to see him with his real appearance. With this digital world full of artificial intelligence, I don't know what to believe anymore. Look at her photos. Would you have fallen for her trick? Be honest and tell me in the comments. Forget about traffic, expensive insurance, and boring rules. Alto, the first bike-friendly vehicle from Infinite Machine, has arrived. The best part? You don't need a license, insurance, or tow truck. It's legal everywhere and made with automotive-grade materials. It can handle rain, sun, and even your excuses for not going out. With a removable battery that you charge at home, you can ride all day without fear of getting stranded. Plus, it's anti-theft, trackable from your phone, and you can even bring a friend along. Customize it with accessories and get ready. Alto isn't just a ride, it's your new freedom on wheels. Like, subscribe, and share. In Las Vegas, where extravagance is the norm, a millionaire spent $400,000 on something unexpected. He projected dancing kittens onto the Sphere, the largest and most expensive LED screen on the planet. Opened in 2023, this 157-meter structure with more than 1.2 million LED panels, capable of transforming into a planet or a giant eye, became a scene of tenderness. For hours, the animated kitties captured the attention of the audience and conquered social media, where thousands celebrated that, for once, fortune could only bring smiles. The Robotic Neo Q1 is here, the robot lawnmower that makes gardening easy and even futuristic. With artificial intelligence and smart mapping, it recognizes the boundaries of your garden with almost no configuration required. It also smoothly avoids obstacles, even in shaded areas. And thanks to its large wheels and floating blades, it adapts to uneven terrain without any problems. Its 22mm cut is fast and efficient, reaching up to 3 centimeters from the edge for a flawless, slim, and agile finish. Yet it covers spaces of up to 0.7 meters, and it can cover up to 1,000 square meters per day. World skateboarding champion Sandro Diaz decided to push the limits of the sport with a spectacular attempt, setting the world record for the highest drop-in. To achieve this, he chose none other than the imposing Rio Grande do Sul state building in Brazil, whose unique architecture transformed into an urban mega-ramp. His first drop already surpassed the 23 meters of a traditional mega-ramp, but that was just the beginning. He bravely continued testing from ever greater heights on the 88.91-meter structure, turning each attempt into a mix of risk, adrenaline, and creativity that left the audience speechless. I'm scared to jump off a chair. What do you think of this feat? I'll read you in the comments. Look at this bear. Or this deer. They're not real animals. They're robots designed to scare animals away from farmland, and also to lure poachers into protected areas for arrest. These robots are covered in stuffed animal skin, or in some cases, synthetic fur, and are controlled automatically, making them look like real animals in the wild. The animals are remotely controlled and act automatically. Who would have thought we'd have robots as the scarecrows of the future? You've heard the story of the Tower of Babel in the Bible, a tower so tall that people sought to reach heaven. Today, Saudi Arabia seeks to build its giant tower. The Saudis aren't seeking to reach God, but rather to have the tallest tower ever built in the world. The tower, called Jeddah, will rise above the clouds at over 1,000 meters, defying strong winds and the height of any other building. The Burj Khalifa, the 828-meter building, currently the tallest in the world, will be dwarfed by this new colossus. The Saudis expect the tower to be completed in 2029 and to be a testament to Saudi Arabia's great power and economic rise. Hopefully, its story won't be like that of the tower we all know. For years, we've relied on USB drives, hard drives, and memory cards to store photos, documents, and projects. Convenient and inexpensive, they've been the standard for transporting and backing up information. But they have a major problem. They get damaged, fill up quickly, and eventually fail. To change the game, Microsoft is working on Project Silica, a technology that uses quartz glass capable of storing millions of files for centuries without losing quality. Unlike current devices, this glass resists the passage of time and obsolescence. In a world where data is constantly growing, this could be the ultimate solution. Wait a minute. I need you to see something. How is it possible that 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel? Remember that subscribing is free! The more of us there are in the community, the more videos like this I can continue to make. Support the channel with your subscription, give me a like, and leave a comment for the algorithm. If you've been worried about dropping your phone on a picnic or at the beach, you might want to consider purchasing the Float Buddy, a cell phone float that expands when attached to your gear and comes into contact with water, carrying your phone to the surface, preventing it from getting lost at the bottom of a river or lake. The float costs $60, and if you think about it, it's less expensive to pay for it and the maintenance of your wet gear than to buy a completely new device. No, this isn't the hobby horse your daughter can play with at the fair. Meet the Racewood MK10, the world's most advanced racehorse simulator. Riders can practice on it, using pressure sensors in the saddle, a bridle, the straps, and a whip, the horse's spur rod. This robot has sensors in its neck that analyze the rider's every movement, and a device that measures their heart rate, ideal for comprehensive training. The downside is that the simulator costs $55,000. For that price, it's better to practice the old-fashioned way at equestrian centers, don't you think? A woman named Tiana Marsh saw an ad where BMW was giving away a car to the first person who responded, but since it was April Fool's Day, no one took it seriously. Tiana didn't understand why BMW would run an ad to trick people, so she responded. The ad said that if you brought in your old car, the company would trade it in for a new one. When Tiana went to a dealership, she was surprised to find it wasn't a joke. BMW gave her a new car valued at $50,000. 23-year-old scientist Valentin Frechka has created a method for producing paper from fallen leaves. Avoiding logging, Frechka developed a process to extract cellulose from dried leaves, the same natural fiber obtained from wood in the paper industry. The collected leaves are cleaned, shredded, and subjected to chemical and mechanical treatment that releases the cellulose. This process is used to form strong sheets that can be transformed into paper, cardboard, and even biodegradable packaging. This innovation would not eliminate logging, but it could be a major step forward in significantly reducing deforestation by not using wood. A champagne cork can fly at speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour when thrown, especially if the bottle has been shaken. This speed is enough to cause injury and break glass. Melanie Perkins is a young Australian who noticed that when teaching design classes, her students were getting frustrated with complicated programs. At that moment, she thought a simple and efficient graphic design platform would be great. Thus, Canva was born in 2008. Despite being rejected by more than 100 investors, Melanie managed to find an investor in Bill Tai, the Zoom investor, and thus Canva, a $40 billion company, was born. Melanie once declared, "I was told that design was only for experts, so I created a tool that made experts out of millions." I won't lie to you, Melanie, you've made my life easier. Tell me, have you used the app? Has it saved you from any trouble? I'll read you in the comments. This is how they decorate Christmas balls. At first glance, it looks like a vanity mirror, but it's the Hocolite Lumea, a gadget that functions as a mirror, light and magnetic holder for your phone. It's ideal if you're recording videos and need a light, also for reading. Its light is adjustable in intensity and color, and it lasts for 2 hours. By attaching it to your smartphone, you only add 75 grams, and its mirror saves you having to search for one among your things. If you want to get ready at the last minute or upload a video to TikTok, it's an ideal accessory. If you want to buy it, it's available for only $39. Would you buy it? We both know you don't need it, but you want it. When a beaver cuts down a tree, it stops mid-gnaw to listen to the wood creak and make sure it knows which way it will fall. Archaeologists in Poland have discovered a 2,700-year-old bracelet. Curiously, it's made of meteoric iron, and if that weren't enough, they also found 3 bracelets, a brooch, anklets, knives, and 26 other artifacts made from the same material. Researchers used methods such as portable X-ray fluorescence. Analysis revealed a high nickel content, a clear sign of its extraterrestrial origin. Unlike other cultures like the Egyptians, where this material is reserved for the elite, in Poland, it was found in the tombs of ordinary people without any gold or other precious stones. Interesting, don't you think? These are Thomas Pearson's sculptures. They're like an hourglass, but with water. Each vessel is filled through a small opening, which is then permanently sealed with glass and resin to preserve the water inside. This roller coaster is the Suzuka circuit in Japan. It combines speed and technique. The better your drifts, the faster you go. If you drift well in the corners, your speed will increase and make the ride even more intense. Pimple Pete is a peculiar board game in which players must extract pimples from a doll's face. If squeezed too hard or incorrectly, a pressurized jet of water simulates pus and splashes the player. It was designed by Spin Master and went viral for its strange but fun approach. Although it may seem disgusting, it promotes fine motor skills and strategy. Its success on social media made it one of the best-selling toys upon its launch. It is inspired by viral pimple-popping videos. Saturn's rings are one of the most impressive spectacles in the solar system, but also one of the most deceptive. Although they stretch more than 280,000 kilometers across, their average thickness is only 10 meters. For comparison, if Saturn were the size of a basketball, its rings would be thinner than a razor blade. They are composed of fragments of ice, dust, and rock, some as small as grains of sand. From Earth, they appear solid, but they are actually a collection of constantly moving particles. Within the Minecraft game, Reporters Without Borders has created a library where you'll find articles, magazines, and journalistic investigations that are blocked in countries with heavy censorship. This in-game library aims for global reach and is difficult to control. Anyone can access and read things that would be prohibited in their own country. The block-based world is becoming a world of information and knowledge. The Library of Alexandria of the Future. During the 17th century in Europe, the upper classes wore adhesive fabric patches, known as mouches, to adorn their faces. They were small velvet ornaments in the shape of a moon, star, heart, or various geometric shapes. Although initially used to cover blemishes, they became a symbol of status and coquetry. Their placement on the face had different meanings. On the cheek, amorous; near the mouth, seductive. Some women wore several at once, and there were even luxury cases to store them. They were applied with fish glue. Can you imagine a festival in summer clothes amidst the ice? Yes, the Grelka Fest, a sports and entertainment festival held annually at the Sherigesh ski resort in the Kemerovo region. It became famous for its bikini and short skiing and snowboarding event, which attracts thousands of participants and has broken world records for participation. In addition to the bikini descent, the festival offers concerts, costume contests, and other events on site. The event has been recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the bikini skiing competition with the largest number of participants in the world. Have you ever imagined what the skeleton of a pufferfish would look like? Just look at it. At first glance, it looks like a sphere made by an engineer, but it's actually the result of millions of years of evolution. Its skeleton, composed largely of cartilage and thin, interconnected bones, has no ribs, and its spines are not connected, but rather attached to the skin, allowing it to inflate without altering its bone structure. When threatened, the pufferfish gulps air or water until it triples in size, making it difficult for other predators to swallow. Simply fascinating. According to studies, chimpanzees consume the equivalent of half a liter of beer daily by eating ripe, fermented fruit. This may be the reason why humans are attracted to alcohol, since chimpanzees are our distant relatives. Chimpanzees consume the equivalent of 2 or 3 glasses of beer daily. The drunken ape theory, championed by American biologist Robert Dudley, has gained traction, as studies show that some primates consume fermented fruit, and when given a choice of nectars with different amounts of alcohol, prefer the one with the most alcohol. In Spain, a small town developed a scheme to reduce extreme heat by turning all the roofs white. Although it seems simple, the temperature there dropped an average of 5 degrees Celsius during the summer. Dark roofs absorb solar radiation, while white ones reflect it. By returning energy to the sky, the houses stop acting like ovens, keeping the interior cool without having to overuse the air conditioning. And the best part is that energy use was reduced and electricity bills were lower. Can you imagine a coffee shop where talking is prohibited? Yes, this is real. In Japan, coffee is experienced in a unique way, thanks to silent coffees, places where calm is the main rule. In spaces like Shoujo Cafe in Osaka, there's no music or conversation. Orders are placed with gestures, written notes, or by pointing at the menu. The result is a perfect refuge for those looking to disconnect from the daily noise and find serenity and calm. Would you go to a place like this? Let me know in the comments. In a scientific laboratory, fish were trained to drive a vehicle on land. How did they do it? Through positive reinforcement. Every time the fish reached the desired spot, it received food. After about 10 sessions, the fish learned to navigate themselves toward the goal. Some, like Mr. Darcy, were diligent and fast. Others, like Mr. Wickham, were rebellious and lazy until food motivated them. These experiments show that fish can remember for a year, learn tricks, and even recognize circuits. Much more than simple pets, they have surprising intelligence and shatter the myth of the 3-second memory. The age-old dream of flying cars is about to become a reality, at least in Silicon Valley. San Mateo-based Aleph Aeronautics has just signed agreements with Half Moon Bay and Hollister Airports to test its flying vehicle in a real-world environment, sharing space with conventional aircraft. The goal is to observe how a car that can drive and fly within the normal flow of air traffic will perform. For now, Aleph is starting with the Zero ultralight mode and plans to move toward more powerful versions such as Zero mode and A mode. Could this be the beginning of the era of flying cars? Have you ever wondered what the first recorded sound in history was? Although many believe it was Thomas Alva Edison with his phonograph, the first known recorded sound was made by Edouard Léon Scott de Martinville in 1860 with a device called a phono-autograph. This device visually recorded sound waves on smoke-colored paper, but could not reproduce them. In 2008, researchers managed to digitize one of those recordings and, for the first time, hear a woman's voice singing Au clair de la lune. This discovery revolutionized the history of audio, proving that sound had been recorded 17 years before Edison's invention. As a curiosity, here's also what was considered for many years the first audio recording in history. In it, Edison can be heard reciting a poem called Mary Had a Little Band.
The first words I spoke in the original phonograph, a little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Elon Musk's company has just created Tesla Dinner, a 1950s-inspired space with futuristic technological innovation. The Hollywood-based complex serves hamburgers, hot dogs, and milkshakes. Orders can be placed from your car or at digital terminals. The boxes are shaped like robots and cars, and there's even a drive-in theater. The parking lot has superchargers for electric cars, blending retro and futuristic elements. Would you like to eat at this establishment? A woman named Bernice Dapa in Ghana created the Ghana Bamboo Bikes initiative to manufacture bamboo bicycles. These bicycles are eco-friendly and very inexpensive. Today, her project has provided jobs for 35 people from marginalized sectors and women from rural areas of Ghana, training them and giving them an opportunity to enter the labor market. Furthermore, the bicycles are made of recyclable, locally produced bamboo with a system that ensures 10 plants are replaced for each piece used. Most of these bikes are given to children in rural areas, allowing them to travel long distances to get to school. This is undoubtedly a very admirable initiative. The famous channel that ushered in the era of music videos in 1981 will close its doors to its main channels on December 31st, 2025, following a shift in music and entertainment consumption, where streaming and digital platforms dominate the audience experience, decreasing traditional television viewing. The 5 channels that will cease broadcasting are MTV Music, MTV 80s, MTV 90s, Club MTV, and MTV Live, scheduled to close on December 31st, 2025, in Europe, the United Kingdom, Australia, Asia, and Latin America. However, in the United States, the main MTV channel will remain active and will focus on reality shows and docu-realities. Thus, the decline in advertising revenue and the drop in pay TV subscriptions are influencing the reduction of channels. Do you think these closures mark the beginning of the end for MTV, or will they recover? Let me know your opinion in the comments section. Meet Watergen, a device that condenses atmospheric humidity and transforms it into potable water ready for drinking. This invention has been used in arid areas, refugee camps, and places affected by natural disasters. It runs on electricity and can produce tens of liters per day. It's a real solution to the world's water shortage. When mercury and aluminum mix, a dangerous chemical reaction occurs. Mercury penetrates the protective aluminum oxide layer and allows the metal to oxidize rapidly, causing the aluminum to slowly disintegrate into mushroom-like or tower-like crystalline structures while releasing energy. Therefore, mercury is prohibited on airplanes, as it can compromise the aluminum structure. Visually, the process appears almost magical, but it is highly toxic. Furthermore, mercury is a liquid metal that can easily evaporate and contaminate the environment. The Dalmatian pelican is the largest of its species and one of the heaviest flying birds in the world. With an impressive wingspan of up to 3.5 meters, it glides gracefully over lakes, wetlands, and coastlines. Its shaggy white plumage and the bright orange pouch it displays during mating season make it unmistakable. Despite its size, it is an impressive flyer and fisher. It is currently listed as near threatened due to habitat loss and human activity, although conservation efforts in Europe and Asia have led to a slow recovery. A winged giant that embodies both strength and fragility. Megan Pierce is attempting to set a Guinness World Record for the largest collection of Joker memorabilia. Her collection includes rare and nostalgic pieces like a 1989 Batman bicycle released during the Tim Burton film craze, as well as preserved food products from 1966 to 1989. She owns over 100 autographed items, including the Dark Knight Master Race, number 4, signed by Jim Lee, Frank Miller, and Klaus Janson. Among her favorites are a 1949 Batman comic book, a life-size cardboard cutout of the Joker from The Dark Knight she purchased for just $40, and magazines spanning from 1966 to 2022. Her passion encompasses decades of Joker history, from Jack Nicholson to Joaquin Phoenix. The Backstreet Boys were greeted at the Astana airport in Kazakhstan with a special dance routine of their iconic song, Everybody, by airline staff. The unexpected surprise thrilled the band and the fans in attendance, demonstrating the fervor they still inspire worldwide. I wonder if the initiative came from the employees, or if it was their boss who told them they had to dance. Who knows? Sky-eyed goldfish are one of the most unusual varieties. Instead of looking straight ahead or to the sides, their eyes point skyward.
Un extraño de fuera.
Can you believe an Australian man typed all the numbers from 1 to 1 million in letters using his typewriter? It took him a whopping 16 years to complete the feat. What a shame it is to have nothing to do. This is how they created Professor Orloff's floating head in Wednesday. It all began with a blend of real acting and digital magic. Christopher Lloyd was filmed using a technique called volumetric capture, which captures his face from every angle to transform it into a hyper-realistic digital version. Meanwhile, on set, where the head was supposed to be, a 360-degree camera was positioned, capturing the scene from that point of view so that his interaction with the other actors was perfect. VFX artists then took charge of creating the virtual jar, recreating the glass, the liquid, the bubbles, and even small impurities to make it look authentic. Thus, his smile and gestures come to life as if he were actually inside that enchanted jar. This is Bella, a dog who has gone viral on social media for her unique smile. Tell me, isn't she sweet? Yes, she is. Bella has already accumulated thousands of followers on social media, along with her furry siblings Buddy and Birdie. Her cheerful and contagious expression has already gone viral, adding thousands of fans who can't stop falling in love with her unique charm. I wonder if her smile will always be like this, because it's impossible to see it and feel tenderness. Did you know that, according to studies, the smell of old age begins as early as age 40? Yes, the classic grandfatherly smell. Science explains that at age 40, the production of lipids in the skin, which functions as a protective barrier against external agents and helps retain the amounts of water and oil the skin needs, increases. This hormonal change contributes to the aroma associated with aging. Among these compounds, the molecule 2-anonanol stands out, which is naturally produced in the dermis and is responsible for the smell of old age. Scientific research suggests that the smell of old age can begin to be felt as early as age 30. And I know you're smelling yourself right now. Are you old enough to start worrying about that smell of old age? The mouth harp is one of the oldest musical instruments in existence. It is believed to have originated thousands of years ago and has been used in different cultures around the world, both to accompany songs and dances, as well as in rituals and ceremonies. In this curious video, we see a family of polar bears that moved a few years ago to an abandoned weather station on Kolyuchin Island, Russia. They have settled there permanently. Watch how they react to the drone filming them. This is a petroleum quartz from Madagascar. It contains tiny bubbles of petroleum trapped inside millions of years ago. Honey gatherers in the Sundarbans in India wear masks on the back of their heads to protect themselves from tigers. These animals don't attack if they think you're looking at them. The nut that holds a helicopter's main rotor together is called the Jesus nut. If it fails mid-flight, the rotors come off, and the only thing left to do is pray to Jesus. Took South ventured into the Fiambala Desert in Argentina to do something we'd all like to do. They rolled a motorcycle tire over the highest dune there and let gravity do the rest. The ride was much longer than expected. This dish is very unusual. It involves eggs cooked on hot stones. Instead of using a pan or water, stones are heated until they reach a high temperature. This method gives the egg a unique flavor and texture, and it cooks evenly without the need for oil. The famous 1973 song Angie is undoubtedly one of the most famous and romantic rock ballads. The song was written by Keith Richards, guitarist for the Rolling Stones, in a detox clinic in Switzerland and completed by Mick Jagger, the band's vocalist. It is rumored that Jagger had an affair with Angela Bowie, wife of singer David Bowie, hence the lyrics speak of a loving farewell. Others believe that Jagger took the idea from Richards and related it to his breakup with his ex-partner Marianne Faithfull. David Bowie's wife, Richards, and Jagger have denied these theories. Back in 2010, Keith Richards confirmed in his biography, Life, that the title and melody were inspired by his daughter, Angela Richards. Keith wrote the song without a specific name because he didn't yet know the sex of his baby or what they would name her. Who do you think the song was dedicated to? Tell me in the comments section. Did you know that people get teeth tattoos? Well, not actually on the natural tooth itself, but on dental crowns. These tiny works of art are engraved or painted on the surface of the crown before being placed in the mouth. Would you do it? Let me know in the comments what you'd get tattooed. In 2006, astronauts on the International Space Station launched a Russian spacesuit into space, which was no longer in use, but with a curious purpose. They converted it into an experimental satellite. It floated independently around the planet for several weeks before before losing power and finally disintegrating upon entering the atmosphere. Jerry Gazello was born with a condition called megalocornea, where the cornea of the eye is larger than normal. The cornea is the transparent, dome-shaped outer layer located on the front of the eye. See what it looks like in profile. A 2-year-old girl has been chosen in Nepal as the new living goddess. Aryatara Shakya, 2 years and 8 months old, was chosen as the new Kumari, or virgin goddess, replacing the current one, who according to tradition becomes a mere mortal upon reaching puberty. The little girl was carried by her family to a temple during a Hindu festival. Girls are selected between the ages of 2 and 4 and must have impeccable skin, hair, eyes, and teeth. Yesterday she was just my daughter, but today she is a goddess, said her father, Ananta Shakya. The former Kumari, Trishna Shakya, a goddess in 2017, now 11 years old, left through the back door, carried on a litter by her family and supporters. According to Nepali folklore, men who marry a former Kumari die young. So many girls remain unmarried. Strange custom, don't you think? Egypt is one of the most magical and mysterious countries in the world for all its wonders. It has revealed more surprises. Experts have revealed an underground world stretching more than 6 kilometers beneath the pyramids of Giza. Passages, tunnels, and chambers have been found that seem to extend endlessly beneath the sand. Archaeologists have found hidden structures, sealed rooms, and tunnels that form a colossal network that could hide lost treasures. For centuries, ancient texts spoke of cities beneath the sand. Evidence suggests that the builders not only raised pyramids to the sky, they also created an underground world. In Japan, due to the low population density and high elderly population, a company has devised a way to employ elderly women, renting out grandmothers. Yes, you heard right. This service allows clients to hire women between the ages of 60 and 94 for about $22 an hour to help with everyday tasks such as cooking, cleaning, babysitting, and even mediating family conflicts. Furthermore, the grandmothers enrolled in the program can also offer emotional support and comfort if things aren't going well in your life. At this rate, you're going to pay for having a fake family, don't you think? The company Sightful has unveiled the first augmented reality laptop without a physical screen. The Spacetop G1, instead of a monitor, projects a 100-inch virtual screen visible through special glasses. It runs its own operating system and is compatible with apps like Gmail, Google Calendar, GPT Chat, and WhatsApp, allowing it to be easily integrated into everyday life. Although it currently uses its own software, it could soon operate with other systems. In short, the first screen-free laptop is now a reality. Can you imagine working from anywhere with a floating screen in front of you? Scientists at the University of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, managed to erase HIV from infected cells as if it had never existed. They used the genetic tool CRISPR, a gene editing technology that allows scientists to precisely modify DNA by cutting and replacing DNA sequences. They directly eliminated the viral material within infected cells, and most astonishingly, the virus never returned. We're not talking about suppressing symptoms or taking lifelong medications, but rather attacking the problem at its root. In laboratories, the treated cells were free of the virus. Human trials and safety tests are still pending, but the mere possibility of a single treatment could eradicate the virus that for decades was considered incurable. The Wuji hand, created by Pen Motor in China, is a human-sized robotic hand with 20 active joints, 4 per finger, capable of incredibly precise movements. It weighs less than 600 grams, applies up to 15 newtons of force, and can easily hold 10 kilograms. In tests, it performed delicate tasks, such as using scissors or chopsticks from a distance, and even lifted 20 kilos without damaging itself. Its precision is so high that it repeats movements with a margin of less than 10 microns. Priced at $5,500, it promises to revolutionize robotics and prosthetics. Would you use it for work, cooking, or become a multitasking cyborg? Did you know there's an animal with the power to regenerate its body? The axolotl, a strange salamander sacred to the ancient Aztecs, has the ability to regenerate its limbs, spinal cord, part of its heart, and even parts of its brain. The axolotl maintains a youthful appearance thanks to a condition called neoteny, which gives it a youthful appearance even into adulthood. When a limb is lost, the axolotl forms a layer of skin, then creates a blastema, a cluster of cells that can transform into bone, muscle, or nerve, and thus the limb regenerates just as before. Scientists are analyzing this condition, which could be vital for regenerative medicine. Get ready for some serious road madness. The Yangwang U9 Extreme has just broken the world speed record for production cars, reaching 496.22 kilometers per hour. The feat was achieved at the ATP Automotive Testing Papenburg circuit in Germany, leaving all its rivals in the dust. This Chinese supercar is not only incredibly fast, but also proves that Asian engineering is making a strong impact in the world of motorsports. Imagine going so fast that the landscape becomes a blur. Would you dare get into a car that travels at almost 500 kilometers per hour? The Nikon Small World in Motion 2025 competition opens a window into the fascinating microscopic universe. Among 325 videos from 34 countries, the winner was American Jay McClellan, who captured the self-pollination of a time-leaf speedwell, Veronica serpillifolia. His work reveals an ingenious survival strategy that some plants use to adapt to their environment. These mesmerizing videos show the hidden beauty of nature, invisible to the human eye, yet full of life and detail. Who would have thought that the most amazing stories on the planet happen in a world we cannot see? Did you know that Shaquille O'Neal owns a Corvette as big as his legend? Engineers had to stretch the car 20 inches just so Shaquille O'Neal could fit in comfortably. Yes, they basically created an XXL Corvette. Every detail was custom-made. Bolstered seats, tuned pedals, and even the steering wheel adapted to his size. It's a one-of-a-kind car, as exclusive as its owner. And when Shaquille saw his new machine, his smile said it all. Imagine having a car made just for you. Which model would you order if you could customize yours from scratch? Would you ride an inflatable bike? Wait, there are inflatable bikes? Let me tell you, now you would. The Poimo inflatable bike. It's basically an inflatable electric scooter that fits in a backpack and inflates in just 1 minute with an air pump. Developed in Japan, it weighs 7.8 kilos and can support a weight of up to 80 kilograms. We don't yet know its top speed, but if one day you don't want to walk, it would be a good option, don't you think? Let me know in the comments if you'd buy it. The new Ray-Ban Meta display looks like classic sunglasses, but it hides the future in your eyes. With a high-resolution screen as bright as the sun, you can watch videos, read messages, and even activate real-time subtitles and instant translations. Plus, thanks to the Meta Neural Band, you control everything with subtle muscle movements. No keyboards or buttons required. Want music? Just think. Photos or videos? Ready. Lightweight, elegant, and futuristic. This combination redefines how we interact with technology. Available in black and sand for 709 DIN. The future is here. Scientists from China and the United Kingdom discovered that our species could have emerged much earlier than previously thought after analyzing the Yunjian II skull, discovered in 1990. Thanks to a digital reconstruction, they detected a larger-than-expected brain capacity, suggesting that this hominid was closer to Homo longi, or even Homo sapiens. This discovery could rewrite part of human evolutionary history. According to anthropologist Chris Stringer, distinct human groups already existed 1 million years ago, revealing a more ancient and complex evolution than we imagined. What if our history began much earlier than we think? Andrzej Bargiel, the Polish ski mountaineer, made history by becoming the first to ski down from the summit of Everest without supplemental oxygen. On September 22, 2025, he reached the summit after nearly 16 hours in the so-called death zone, above 8,000 meters, then began his descent on skis, reaching Camp 2 that same night. The following morning, he continued, even traversing the dangerous Khumbu icefall before reaching base camp. Bargiel thanked the 7 Summit Treks team, Changdawa, and all the partners who believed in the project from the beginning. The German company Robotics has unveiled a domestic and industrial robot, the 4NE1 robot, an android with advanced artificial intelligence and 360-degree vision, a 24-hour battery life, touch-sensitive skin, and its own ecosystem. The model will cost around $70,000 and will go on sale in 2026. It can carry up to 60 kilos and perform multiple household tasks. The most surprising thing is that each robot is connected to 4 other NE1 robots. So as one learns, the others learn as well. Would you buy it? I'm looking forward to having one at home that can do all those tedious tasks that bore me. Leave me your opinion in the comments. Did you know there's a theory that the Titanic didn't sink in 1912, but rather a sister ship? It's believed the Titanic was involved in an accident with another ship and was replaced by a similar ship called the Olympic. Also, the insurance would pay for the Titanic sinking. In other words, its famous sinking was planned. The Titanic sank in 1912, and the Olympic was dismantled and sold in parts after World War I. Both ships were created by magnate J.P. Morgan's White Star Line, and according to the conspiracy theory, it was in Morgan's interest that certain magnates not survive the voyage. Magnates who were opponents of the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank. Do you think it was an accident, or was there a plan behind the famous sinking? I'll read you in the comments. Unitree G1 debuted its anti-gravity mode, and now seems nearly indestructible. It takes pushes, kicks, and falls, and gets back up in seconds as if nothing had happened. Its secret is a combination of powerful actuators, sensors, and reinforcement learning policies that improve balance and impact recovery, enabling predictive movements and athlete-like reactions. In demos, the G1 wobbles, collapses, and instead of remaining inert, calculates the best sequence to quickly get back up. This not only impresses in viral videos, it also brings humanoids closer to real-life tasks where stumbling is the norm. You might laugh now, but when a G1 chases you after you stumble, it won't be so funny. Los Angeles-based startup Inversion unveiled Arc, a new flagship, a re-entry vehicle capable of delivering up to 500 pounds of cargo from orbit to anywhere in the world in less than an hour. It measures 8 feet tall and 4 feet wide, and can carry everything from medical kits to drones. Founded in 2021, the company plans to keep craft in orbit for 5 years, ready to descend on demand. Arc will also serve as a Mach 20 hypersonic testbed. Inversion, with 60 employees, plans its first mission in 2026 alongside partners such as NASA and Kratos. Get ready, because in 2026 you could see your order fall straight from the sky. The white spots you see behind the tiger's ears are called ocelli and are part of its silent strategy as a predator. When the tiger lowers its head to drink water or rest, the ocelli are exposed. They look like a pair of eyes observing everything around them. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to not feel pain? Olivia Famsworth is a young woman who, believe it or not, doesn't feel pain, thirst, hunger, or fear, and not by choice. Olivia suffers from a DNA alteration that caused a mutation that also takes away her sense of danger, cold, and heat. Her parents noticed her condition when, as a child, a car hit her and dragged her down the street, and she didn't complain or show any pain or fear. Olivia uses a stopwatch to tell her when to eat and wake up, and she also uses pills to help herself sleep. Research in Ceará, Brazil, has revealed that tilapia skin may help restore vision in dogs and cats. This fish's skin is rich in collagen and has already been used for cell regeneration and increased burn healing in humans. Applying tilapia skin to injured corneas in dogs and cats has shown ocular repair, reducing inflammation without causing rejection. More than 400 dogs' eyes have been treated with this technique at the Federal University of Ceará, resulting in reduced pain, closure of lesions, and partial or complete improvement in vision. Further research is pending, but this represents a major advance in veterinary medicine. Have you seen the movie The Man in the Iron Mask? This 1998 film starring Leonardo DiCaprio is about twin brothers separated at birth, one destined to become King of France, and the other a prisoner whose ties to the crown are hidden. You should know that in real life, there was a prisoner whose identity was hidden in France. We don't know who he was, but it is known that King Louis XIV and the authorities kept his identity secret. He was placed in a black velvet mask, and when he died in the Bastille prison in 1703, his belongings and all evidence that could indicate who he was were destroyed. We have no proof of whether he had ties to the crown as shown in the movie, but he was undoubtedly someone very important. American YouTuber Carter Scherer, with more than 11 million followers, wanted to fulfill his dream of owning a $5 million Bugatti Veyron. Browsing the internet, he found a bargain on Temu for just $30,000 and bought it without hesitation. After weeks of waiting, a huge box arrived. When he opened it, the surprise! It wasn't a real car, but a hollow, engineless polystyrene replica. So light he could lift it with his hands. Although it seemed like a scam, his unboxing video surpassed 1 million views, going viral and reminding everyone of the dangers of buying from unverified sites. A crazy challenge. Luke set out to jump between two moving trucks and perform a tsunami backflip over a highway sign. The challenge involved not only the dizzying speed, but also calculating the timing precisely, fighting the crosswind, and landing without hitting the sign. After practicing jumping between trucks and executing a tsunami backflip, one of his favorite tricks where he hangs from the inverted motorcycle, the decisive moment arrived. With just half a second to spare and his heart racing, Luke fired up the engine, flew over the sign, and achieved the feat. Pure adrenaline. Today's trip is over. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.